It is 1 o'clock. Welcome back in on Three Man Front's Wednesday edition. Pat Landrum, Molly Conrad with you until 2 o'clock. Appreciate Brian Edwards, Chris Stewart, Nick Roush from Kentucky Sports Radio, Trey Wallace from Outkick joining the conversation today. It's been a great show. We welcome your phone calls this final hour, 1-800-239-WJOX. The courtesy GMC text line is 205-834-9450. The Three Man Front Twitter poll question of the day that you can go vote on, Molly, and it has to do with the Auburn quarterback situation.
Yeah, who gets more snaps on Saturday versus Kentucky? Is it Jackson Arnold or Ashton Daniels? And it's a landslide. Ashton Daniels is winning by 85%.
It's interesting because their head coach at Auburn said today during the SEC teleconference that it's a tough call, Landrum, that both quarterbacks, Ashton Daniels and Jackson Arnold, have been competing, and it's very tight, very close.
Yeah, I don't know if you've got a whole lot of Auburn fans that are holding their breath on whatever the decision is. It's just, hey, let's get somebody that goes in there, runs the offense. Can we have consecutive drives where we look like we know what we're doing and don't give it to the other team? Which Jackson Arnold had been pretty good at prior to. How many does he have on the season now?
How many interceptions?
Yeah. Is it two? Yeah. But no, I think Ashton Daniels, that's one of the reasons you brought him in, right? You get a veteran guy. He's obviously got a good head on his shoulders. He's a bigger guy. He can handle that load, and he looked pretty comfortable when he came in last week.
Jackson Arnold is currently 16th in the SEC. There's been 21 individuals that have qualified for throwing passes and getting yards, and he is 16th out of 21.
And again, look, I'm not going to be the Jackson Arnold apologist, but like so many Auburn quarterbacks from whether the Hugh Freeze era, the Brian Harsin era, or the Gus Malzahn era, I don't put it all on the quarterbacks. I don't think that Jackson Arnold has been given an ideal spot to thrive with what they've been doing.
Yeah, I mean, he's only averaging 158 yards passing a game, which means he doesn't have a lot of opportunities.
Pat, I just wonder, did this staff, because we had everybody, whether it was Bill Clark, whether it was Sally that's been watching college football with her daddy for 40 years. Anybody could tell, all right, well, Auburn's having success running the ball versus Baylor, but you're not going to be able to do this against the majority of the SEC teams that you play. Was that the plan coming in? Like, let it ride. Hope it works. Pretty sure it's going to work. Then you go to the drop back game. Then the RPOs at times. And then just some of the questionable, hey, it was good. Why are you running that? It's rinse and repeat. And you're going to keep being close if something doesn't change.
Stole my joke.
What? No, tell it anyways.
No, I was just going to say, well, at least it's all close to working or something along those lines.
No, that's good.
But you beat me to it.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I don't want to take away from you.
No, I know, but that's been your thing, and you deserve to have it because I feel bad. I am going to miss when we stop hearing that from Hugh Freeze because I really enjoy watching your facial reactions every time he says it yet again.
We have that on the hotkey, right?
The closer?
I know we have length and girth. Do we have its close?
No, we don't.
If we combined all of those, we could probably form something that's inappropriate. But
you need length and girth in this league.
Yes. You better bring it every Saturday.
So he's basically telling us that he doesn't have length and girth.
I guess so.
Because they have not been successful.
Have you seen Too Tall Miller? But yes.
Well, I've seen him in uniform.
You need more length and girth.
Last night in college football, UTEP lost on the road at Kennesaw State as the Owls of Kennesaw State. They are now bowl eligible.
You don't bring in your boys from Juarez and think that you're going to have your way with them Georgia boys.
Nope. 33-20 was the final. More importantly, Kennesaw State covered. James Madison took out Texas State 52-20. Texas State is winless in the Sun Belt. They're 0-4. More importantly, in that game, the overhit.
But Let's go back through their games. Who have they played, and have they been close? 0-4.
I don't know. They're 0-4 in the Sun Belt, 3-5 overall. Tonight, you've got Jacksonville State. That is a 6:30 kickoff against Middle Tennessee State. Middle Tennessee State, it's been rough for old Mason up there. He's 1-6, winless in Conference USA. Jacksonville State 4-3, 3-0 in CUSA. 7 o'clock on the CBS Sports Network, you can watch Florida International and Missouri State in Springfield. Mo State is a 3.5-point favorite. And if you're a baseball fan, another game in the World Series tonight, as the Blue Jays last night tied up the series 2 games apiece as they took out the Dodgers 6-2. Vlad Guerrero Jr. hits a 2-run pop in the 3rd inning, gave him the lead off of Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani went 0 for 3 at the plate. He also gave up 4 runs in 6 innings of work last night. So we will see what happens. The series will go back to Canada. So the people north of the border, they are excited because that country has absolutely turned hockey off for the last week or so, and they've been watching the American sport of baseball.
And yes, I will get over this, but going back to Texas State and their losses, 3 of those 4 conference losses by a combined 11 points.
Okay.
So
they're
Hugh, you
close.
think you've got it bad.
So they're close.
They're
That's what you're
close.
telling me.
Yeah.
Okay.
You notice how many close scores we see in college football these days?
It's very competitive.
Unless you're playing Indiana.
True. Very true.
That's another takeaway is you're not seeing a whole lot of teams just rub people in conference play. And besides the Oregon game, which they won on the road, they're pummeling everybody.
No, they are. And I'm glad you brought it up. I think it was you that brought it up when Trey was on here of it's time to have the conversation. Look, I understand you're the reigning national champions. You're undefeated on the season. I get why Ohio State's number 1. But you can't tell me from watching those 2 games this year or those 2 teams this year that Indiana hasn't passed the eye test to a higher degree than Ohio State has.
And you're right. And if all other things, guys, are equal, I think we give Indiana the nod because of the guy playing quarterback.
Yeah, Sayan's good, but
Sayan's good.
Mendoza's very good.
I'll take Mendoza.
Well, Indiana doesn't have Jeremiah Smith at Landrum. I mean, come on.
Well, you're right.
God's gift to football.
So I just told you before we went to break about Ed Orgeron. He was doing an interview in Jacksonville, Florida, and the LSU job came open. And he said he would love to go back to LSU. He'd jump in his truck. He'd be there today. Well, he was also talking about the Ole Miss and Florida jobs. And so the question came up, and they asked Ed Orgeron, okay, what's the difference between Ole Miss and Florida? And here's a direct quote from the interview. He says, I love my time at Ole Miss, but when was the last time they won a championship? You're in Jacksonville. You put me in a Suburban, and we can drive an hour anywhere, and I can find a couple All-Americans. So now he's politicking for the Florida job.
Okay.
I got news for you, Ed.
What? Look,
Not unless the Missouri job comes open and they're desperate and they go, why not?
this is why a coach that just got paid what? What was Franklin's buyout? $49 million to leave where he was. This is why he wants to land a job immediately. He does not want to end up like Coach O. Crashing Ryder Cups, weddings.
Well, it does kind of make sense, though, with
working
some
out
of
at
these
Muscle Beach.
coaches and I mean, I go to the NFL because we talk about, they do the same thing with recycling these coaches, is it's almost like if you get fired and you immediately get back into it, you can convince people to kind of overlook that stuff. But if you take a year off, it's almost like it settles in and people start to see you for you really are and go, oh, yeah, why would we want to hire you? You couldn't beat anybody ranked in the top 25.
Does it feel like Jimbo just hung it up or that he's hung it up and he's been out of coaching for 5 years? For me, it feels closer to 5 years.
Yeah, like the fact that Mike Elko's only been there a year and a half, it feels like it's been at least 3 years. Yeah. How quickly we forget.
Your favorite coach next to
Head coach or coordinator?
No, your favorite basketball coach
Oh, yeah.
was always Buzz Williams.
Hey! Yep.
You loved Buzz.
I do.
Loved him.
I love his attention to
I mean, you
detail.
told me and Cole like a year after he was at Texas A&M that Texas A&M should give him a lifetime contract, that he's the greatest basketball coach.
You were ready to fire him after 3 seasons.
Yes, I was.
Didn't you say he's your favorite author as well?
Yes.
Excellent writer.
Yeah, he penned that wonderful
Well, he's
Word
working on his
document.
doctorate. Yeah.
Whatever the case is.
His dissertation,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So just to show you how messed up it is now in college sports, take a listen as Buzz Williams is very honest. I'll give him credit for honesty. This is what he was talking to the Maryland media about his recruitment and his roster management and how he got certain players from College Station to Annapolis.
Before I decided to accept the job here, I had asked Dr. Pines for that morning to spend time with each player that had eligibility remaining at Texas A&M. And that morning, Miles was starting his second full day with his mom and dad on campus for an official visit. So I went on a walk with all of the young men that had eligibility, and then I asked Lyle to bring Miles and Mr. and Miss Rice to my house at the completion of those walks. And just like I did with the kids with eligibility, I showed them the MOU that I hadn't signed. And I explained to them what had been going on the previous 48 hours. And I did the same with Miles and his parents. Because I knew I was going to need to make a decision in the next couple of hours. And that was the first time in my career that that had ever happened. And so I didn't try to recruit Miles to come to Maryland. That wasn't the intent of the conversation. But I knew within a couple of hours, if I was taking that job, that my family and I would be on a plane and he would still be on a visit to Texas A&M. And so he ended up coming and making a decision to come here.
All right, so here's my question. You had a memo of understanding with Maryland. You're still technically employed at Texas A&M, and you're showing guys around campus. He was talking about Miles Rice, who Miles played at Washington State, Indiana, and he was on campus for a visit at Texas A&M. So you show him the memo of understanding, which he had at Maryland, to be the next head coach. So I understand he was trying to be honest and forthright, but you were still technically being paid by Texas A&M, and you're actively recruiting. You can call it any way you want to, but he was actively recruiting a kid that was there on campus at Texas A&M who ultimately followed him to College Park, Maryland, to now be his point guard.
And that's why the timing of all of this, it makes it so tricky. Because let me play out another scenario for you with something we have going on right now at Auburn. Let's say you go ahead and you make that announcement and you let DJ Durkin know, you know what, Coach, we appreciate it. You're going to be the interim, but there is no way that we're going to hand you this job. So DJ Durkin immediately has to think, all right, well, do I link up with my old buddy Lane Kiffin and be his coordinator where he's going to be next season? Maybe so. But what is happening, and this is just DJ Durkin's an example. I'm not saying that he would do this, but what is the potential? We talk about tampering. You don't think those conversations are going on?
Sure.
With, hey, there's a potential. There might be a potential for you next season. I can't tell you where, but I think it's tough for these coaches a lot of times with timing, but that's odd. That's not something you hear about every day, but I bet it happens more than we think.
Oh, sure. I'm not naive to think that it doesn't happen, but for him to admit that openly, that has to make the people at Texas A&M very, very happy to know that that was going on. Just like people weren't happy when they found out that Kirk Ferentz was recruiting Caden Proctor in the middle of the season.
And I don't think you're volunteering that information if that wasn't the truth.
Is it tampering if he was recruiting
In
him
his
for
case, I
a
believe
different
him.
position? Maybe they were recruiting him to come play running back, and so they thought it doesn't count because we recruited him as an offensive lineman.
Oh, you're
Now
talking
we're
about
recruiting
Caden
him as a
Proctor.
running back. Yeah. Maybe that was the loophole that Papa Ferentz was looking for. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. He saw it before we did.
I don't think there's a lot of love loss in College Station towards Buzz.
No.
Because now it's Buckyball.
Paige says that they have a really nice setup down there. So,
Do they?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Does she sit with the coaches' wives?
Coach's girlfriends.
Just like a couple rows back.
Girl, yes, that's right. Sorry, there's a different section for the.
Yes, a completely different section.
No, but in all seriousness, I can't tell you some of the Mountain Brook people I know. Bucky is thoroughly enjoying his time there, and they are expecting to have a very special year this
I
year.
heard they're going to send you to Milkman camp this summer.
Fingers crossed.
Future Milkman.
I gotta be good. I gotta be good for the next few months. But if I'm lucky, have that milk mustache.
You
in
leave
no
that
time.
extra left foot at the house.
Got milk? I will soon.
If you're tired of worrying about your roof, whether it's your family home or commercial building, Abide Roofing delivers tailored solutions for every need. How about a free consultation and estimate? No strings attached. All you need to do is call this number, 205-941-6223. That's 205-941-6223. Or visit abideroof.com. Abide Roofing, quality, precision, customer satisfaction every single time. We know dealing with the insurance company, it can be a pain in your backside sometimes. But guess what? Abide Roofing, they can take care of that. They handled everything for me when I needed a whole new roof replacement. I trust these guys 100%. Local roofing company with over 25 years of trusted experience in the industry. Call them today. That's 205-941-6223 at Abide Roofing.
Katie bar the door. More of your text, more college football conversation on this Wednesday edition of your home for college football and more. Three-man front on Jocks.
It is 1:21. Later this hour, we'll do some Pat Ponders here on Three Man Front, brought to you by Courtesy GMC. We will get to the Courtesy GMC text line momentarily at 205-834-9450. The SEC teleconference went on a little bit earlier this morning. Kalen DeBoer gave us an update. Isaiah Horton, he exited the South Carolina game. You saw him on the sideline. He was on an exercise bike. He did not get much playing time after that. And so earlier today, there was an update by Kalen DeBoer on the timetable for not only Isaiah Horton, but also maybe even Quay Russaw, that he may be back sooner than later. But what was the update in regards to Isaiah Horton, Conrad, in regards to maybe his availability for LSU?
Yeah, so he was talking about both Horton and Lotsier Brooks, who Lotsier Brooks was out. He had an ankle bruise last week, so he didn't play at all against South Carolina. Isaiah Horton played a little bit, and then, as you mentioned, got taken out. But the expectation is that both of them will be ready to go for LSU next weekend, so that's good news for Alabama, as the bye week seemingly came at a good time, and maybe Quay Russaw, if you make a deep enough postseason run, could be back in action for you.
Yeah, the direct quote from DeBoer about Russaw, he said he's doing really good on a timetable that we had hoped, or maybe even a little bit ahead. But we don't know exactly what it's going to be. We're not quite there yet, but he's making great progress. You can see just even in his face, he's feeling good about the direction it's going and can't wait to get him back out there. End of discussion.
Our friends at Prize Picks want to remind you that it's the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join millions of users. You can sign up today. Prize Picks is really simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. Tonight we have options, but you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do America's favorite pastime, or it used to be at least. Baseball, the professional ranks. Oh yeah, the big one, right? The big series they have going on.
They're still playing?
They are still playing.
That's what my wife said when I turned baseball on 2 nights ago. They're still playing?
Last night you should have said, babe, this is still the same game. They're still
It
playing.
almost was, right?
They're in the 38th inning as we speak right now. We got the Dodgers, we got the Blue Jays tonight. Shohei Ohtani, 0.5 home runs. Does he hit one? Does he not? More or less?
Ooh, home runs? I go less.
I'm going to go less too. I think that's a good call. Vlad Guerrero Jr., 0.5 hits.
Oh, just hits?
Just hits.
Yeah, more.
I thought he was seeing the ball pretty well last night.
Absolutely. He's been on fire.
So we're going to go less on a Shohei home run, saying he doesn't get one. But we're saying that Vlad Guerrero gets at least one hit. If we hit on both of those player projections, we're winners. It's that simple. Prize Picks. Download the app today. Use code WJOX to get the $50 in lineups. After you play your first $5 lineup, that's code WJOX. $50 in lineups after the first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It is good to be right.
Also from the teleconference this morning, Hugh Freeze says there's not been a big difference this week in practice between Auburn quarterbacks Ashton Daniels and Jackson Arnold. Says it will be a very tough call who will be the starting quarterback coming up on Saturday against Kentucky. Hugh Freeze also said that Cam Coleman hasn't been a full participant in practice this week, but thought he moved around pretty well today at practice. Coleman is recovering from a sprained ankle that he suffered against Arkansas last week. So a little bit of an update from Hugh Freeze earlier this morning.
Based on the balls that he catches, that it looks like there's no way he's going to be able to catch, I'll take Cam Coleman on one leg. What could it hurt, right?
Yeah.
800-239-WJOX. Let's go to Troy in Oklahoma. Hey, Troy, how are you?
Pretty good. Driving from Oklahoma City to Amarillo, Texas. Truck driving and listening to John.
God bless you, brother.
Hey, thanks a lot. I grew up in Alabama and love to listen to you guys on the road.
We appreciate you listening.
Tell Molly I went to a game in Nebraska. Went to see Lincoln, Nebraska. Went to see my friend's son who plays for Northwestern.
Oh, no way.
Came to Oklahoma, so I really enjoyed. They have a great game day, Molly.
I try to tell everybody, but they don't like to believe
You
it.
said that, and that's the only time she smiled today.
My wife just loved it. I think she has a new team, but she fell in love with the wrong team, Nebraska. So.
Did you have the Runza sandwich while you were there?
No, we didn't. We didn't do that, but we met my old friend and just watched his son plays tight end, plays about 30% of the offensive plays, and we just had a great time.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. That makes me happy.
Thanks a lot. Hey, I wanted to talk to you guys about these mid-season coaching firings. I think there's a strategy behind it, and want to see what you think about my theory. It just with this 30-day portal that these guys have to leave after a coach is fired, doesn't that kind of landlock their players and keep them from leaving mid-season? All the other rosters are kind of set. I'm interested to know if Penn State lost a lot of players after James Franklin.
Well,
I know that Alabama did because it was at the end of the season. They lost like 30-something players, didn't they?
right. But the new NCAA policy that players now have to wait. Like, you cannot immediately leave. Like, you have to now wait until after another coach is named before you leave.
Still, though, with coaches not knowing their rosters at the end of the season, it'd be hard for other teams to promise anything to them, wouldn't it?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Anyway, I just wonder why we have so many more in-season firings, it seems like, with Penn State, Arkansas, Florida, LSU, others too.
Well, it's interesting because about a year ago, everybody was freaked out because of the $20.5 million house settlement. That's what you could spend ultimately on a roster. Everybody was freaked out. But then once the house settlement came down, it appears schools like Penn State and LSU, they're not really concerned about a large buyout and about whatever's going to happen. Maybe their alumni base or the guys that they're going to get that money, maybe they're all in. Maybe they're ready to do whatever's possible, not only to pay for the coach, but pay for that roster each year.
Maybe so. But anyway, just thought I'd throw that out there as a theory. And I guess there's a lot of other reasons why to do it too. So
sounds good. Hey, thanks for the call.
Thanks,
hey,
Troy.
safe travels to Amarillo.
Drive safe.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, guys.
You as well. Text line is open, 205-834-9450. The first one, how long until Lane leaves Ole Miss? I say 2 weeks, says one of our listeners. I maintain that Lane does not go anywhere. Conrad, you're nodding your head yes?
Yes, I would lean towards Lane staying at Ole Miss.
Pat, y'all got a nice care package for Mr. Kiffin?
I think he will be financially rewarded for his stay.
If I'm Lane Kiffin, I am staying in Oxford.
Yes. There you go, Lane. But he enjoys the flirt.
He's loving this. He's loving this. Make the most of it. I mean, hey, it's like if you're a top recruit, somebody's going to pay to fly you out and show you a good time on a weekend. Why wouldn't you go listen?
Someone asking, before the rankings come out next week, will you guys acknowledge the first several weeks are a waste of time and useless? I can't listen to it again this year. The rankings, yes, they are. We do it for fun.
It's a good conversation.
It's an educated guess.
The best part of it, as we all know,
for some of us,
is after they unveil the rankings, and then you get to hear them throw up on themselves as they try to explain to you why the rankings are what they are. That's the real entertainment.
I found it interesting. They did not have that webinar that I was a part of last year.
Yeah, because it got such rave reviews from the media, right?
Well, it was all about transparency, though, right?
Yeah.
So less transparency already this year. Disgusting.
Well, Heather Dinich told us when she came on our program last week all of the things that they're going to have at their disposal. So it's up to them whether they want to use it and then convey to us that they used it through full transparency.
If you are on the College Football Playoff Committee, what percent, right, because obviously they're not watching every single game of every single team that's going to be considered for the College Football Playoff. What percent of games do you think they actually watch? Is it over or under 50%?
Like start to end?
Yes.
Games?
To get a full picture of how a team has developed over the course of a season.
Ooh.
Well, you think about it, there's at least, 60 some odd games per week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
On average.
I mean, they're going to use cut-ups with some of these.
I would just
less
wonder.
Than half.
Yeah, see, I'm thinking it's probably less than half. Which, again, I understand. You don't have enough time to literally watch every game individually, but
You know who
just
could?
Interesting.
You know who could watch every single game, and they could do it in a really quick amount of time. AI. Just replace the committee with AI.
Stop it.
That's coming next.
Maybe so.
Hate to ask, but question for Conrad. were you at any of the following games?
Okay.
2010, Auburn.
No.
2011, LSU.
No.
2012, Texas A&M.
No.
You weren't there for Johnny Football?
No, I was actually at a Clemson football game while that was happening.
2015, Ole Miss.
Yes.
2019, LSU. I watched that from Green Bay.
Oh, that was Joe Burrow. No, I was not at that game.
Okay.
So the only one I was at the Ole Miss Chad Kelly game. What?
I was.
At the LSU game?
No, I was on every single one.
Oh,
of them.
every single one of them?
Bad luck, Pat.
I'm going to point this out until we get to the Auburn game. Every game I've attended in the press box, Alabama has been victorious.
Will Conrad go to the Bama OU game and jinx Bama?
I will be at that game, and I will be at the LSU game.
Josh wants to know, have you heard any rumblings on the next UAB coach, who it might be? Have not. Hopefully, interim head coach Alex Mortensen, we get another win this weekend. East Hartford.
Be a big one.
You can hear the game right here on Jocks with pregame beginning at 10 a.m.
Woo.
Well, at least you'll be in the friendly confines of your Netwood studio.
That's correct. The
I'll be
worldwide
battling the
headquarters.
Northeasters.
Yes. I'll be in my comfy studio in Trussville, Alabama.
We're going to have a really, really big Halloween deal Friday night in Springfield.
That's the place to have it.
They've got an epic haunted house.
Why don't you go over to Salem?
Ooh. I bet P-Town is really
Did you know
fun around
technically there
Halloween.
were no witches burned in Salem? Did you know that?
What?
No.
They never burned people at the stake?
No.
Then what?
Not in Salem.
Oh, but other places they did?
They hit him in the head with a rock.
I thought they tied the cinder block to them.
They threw them in the lake to see if they floated.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what yeah. Everything's a lie.
Keep them coming in.
Oh, God, we got to go to break.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right. This is 3-Man Front on Jocks.
What Rainey's going to do to us.
I know. So the college football playoff rankings will be out Tuesday night. It will be interesting to get those rankings because all we've had to really talk about has been the coaches poll and the Associated Press poll that comes out. But all indications are it's probably going to be Ohio State 1, Indiana 2, A&M 3, Bama 4, Georgia 5. I was looking at some tiebreakers because it's that time of the year where I start kind of digging into SEC what-if scenarios. If the chalk holds for the rest of the season, needless to say, it would be Alabama versus Texas A&M for the SEC championship. Now, if Texas A&M loses at Texas or somewhere else, but they still beat Texas, but they have the one loss, Georgia, if they run the table, they would play Alabama in the SEC championship game. So, interesting scenarios developing not only for the college football playoff in the coming months, but for the SEC championship in Atlanta.
Well, Big Whiskey's is the place for great food of all varieties. They have a full menu ranging from apps, salads, burgers to steaks. They have plenty of screens so that you can catch all the games all weekend long. They'll be playing Kentucky at Auburn, Vanderbilt, Texas, Florida, Georgia, Mississippi State, and so many more. Plus, school is back in, and you have a lot going on. And Big Whiskey's, they offer online ordering and curbside pickup for those busy evenings that you might have. They also have happy hour in the afternoons and late nights. So go check them out in the Sam Trace Village off 459 and Highway 150 near the Hoover Met.
So Kelly Ford, he puts out some analytics and some ratings every single day. And we talk about this from time and time again, but Auburn, in regards to the percentage of winning their remaining games, they have a 79% chance of beating Kentucky this weekend, only a 43% chance of beating Vanderbilt in Nashville, 95% chance against Mercer, not 99%, but 95% against Mercer. And they have a 26% chance of beating Alabama in the Iron Bowl, according to Kelly Ford ratings. We'll do some Pat Ponders and maybe a worst thing I've seen. That's next on Three Man Front. It is 1:43 as we wrap things up on this Wednesday. Hope you'll join us tomorrow back in studio for another 4 hours of fun and frivolity right here on Three Man Front. Every single day I come up with questions. They give me answers, brought to you by Courtesy GMC.
I want to know what you're thinking. Tell me what's on your mind.
It's time for Pat Ponders.
Brought to you by Courtesy GMC and Trustful. Get by and see them anytime off of I-459 exit 32 in Trustful. Best deals you're going to find anywhere in the Southeast on a brand new GMC. Online inventory at courtesybirmingham.com. Question number 1. Which of these surprise college football playoff contenders will punch their ticket to this year's playoff? Vanderbilt, Georgia Tech, or both?
I will go both. That's right. Both.
Landrum says both Georgia Tech and Vanderbilt will go to the college football playoff.
I feel like Georgia Tech's a little bit vulnerable right now. Just handle your business. It's a tough one this weekend as they take on NC State on the road, but they should handle their business. Even with one loss, you're going to give them the loss with the good old-fashioned hate. Is that what they call it? With rivalry game with Georgia? I don't see them losing in the ACC. Maybe in the championship game.
Yeah, see, that's kind of the kicker with Georgia Tech is, you know, they could go 11-0 and still find themselves out of the playoff because if you lose to Georgia and then in the ACC title game, you know, I think they'd still have a chance to get in, but certainly not a guarantee. I'm going to lean Georgia Tech a little more than Vanderbilt just because I think the Texas game, I think Vanderbilt will win against Texas, but that's not a gimme game. Tennessee at the end of the year is going to be difficult. So
what do you think about Auburn?
They should be able to win that game, but who knows, right? Auburn, you know, they get a win against Kentucky, start to get a little momentum. Maybe that game's more interesting than it looks right now. So I'll go Georgia Tech.
I would also lean Georgia Tech, just given the ACC versus the SEC, and I think Vanderbilt might lose maybe one or two more.
But it would be awesome if they both got in.
It would be awesome if they did, though.
So Landrum goes both. You both go Georgia Tech.
You really want that ear pierced, man.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a neat change-up.
I do too. I'm all in favor of that.
What
I will tell you right now, if there's a scenario where Vanderbilt and Alabama play for a national championship, I will root for Vanderbilt just so you have to get your ear pierced.
Well, I have to get
No,
it. If
you won't.
Yes, that is
First of all, the
yes.
bet
Absolutely.
though, Conrad, is
Unbelievable.
if Vanderbilt gets to the title game, it doesn't matter how they do. I have to pierce the ears.
Okay, well then if they meet in a semifinal, I will root for Vanderbilt against Alabama. That is worth it.
That's no way that's happening.
There's no way that's happening.
No. I
You
mean,
can sit here
him,
and say that with a straight face.
yeah. Whatever.
See you in 2 months.
All right, question number
You
2.
going to go to Claire's? Where do you want to get it done?
No, we're going to do it in studio
Do it
with
in
a
studio.
ice pick and an ice cube.
Ah, now
And
we're
an apple.
talking.
Either that.
With a piece
Now
of
we're
number
talking.
3 rebar.
Next question. Give me your most shocking SEC coaching domino that would affect multiple schools in the conference.
Okay.
I said shocking. Don't give me this. Lane goes to LSU, then John Summerall goes to Ole Miss. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about multiple domino craziness.
So we can bring
Kirby-
up 2. Okay.
Kirby takes an NFL job.
Okay?
He's
That's
had
what I'm
enough.
talking about. Okay.
Dan Lanning does Phil Knight. Stick it, buddy. I'm going to Athens. They got grass too, and it gets green. At Oregon, you've got to replace Lanning. So where do you go? Naturally to the SEC, and you grab offense, and you grab Josh Heupel.
Oh, I thought you were going Kalen DeBoer.
No, that's a West Coast. That's good.
I
That's
like
good. All right.
Tennessee's now searching for a coach.
Who are they getting?
Ooh, I think they go and steal Clark Lee from Vandy.
Ooh.
Then who's at Vandy?
Come on back home, James.
I like it.
That is nice. See, when I came up with that question,
That was really good.
that's what I'm talking about. I like that. That's a really good idea.
Okay, is it cheating if I have 2 dominoes?
No, as long as they all work out.
Dominoes is a fun game for anybody who hasn't played. I just started a month ago.
I love dominoes.
Okay. So this is what I'm thinking. The rumors are true. Steve Sarkisian takes the Titans job. But in addition to that, the New York Giants go, man, this Brian Daboll guy, I don't know about him. But you know who I do like? Jackson Dart's former head coach.
Oh.
And Lane Kiffin
You dirty dog.
doesn't go to LSU. He doesn't go to Florida. He heads to the Big Apple, where he is the head coach of the New York Giants with Jackson Dart. And in that situation, John Summerall goes to Ole Miss, and Texas pulls the Schlossnagel part 2. They hire Mike Elko from Texas A&M, and then Texas A&M goes and hires
I love it.
Brian
And to
Kelly,
sweeten
maybe?
the deal for Lane Kiffin to leave pretty old Oxford to go to the Big Apple, they do a Calvin Klein-like billboard
In
right there in
Manhattan.
Town Square
Yes.
with him wearing a T-shirt that costs way too much money that he thinks he looks really good in.
I like it.
This is my alternate reality. Lane Kiffin decides, you know, I want my daughter and her boyfriend to be closer.
Oh, shut your mouth.
So he goes to LSU. But then, who is Ole Miss going to get? They see a little guy up in Como, Missouri. They're like, hey, Drake, come on down here. But then Missouri's like, well, what do we do now? Well, Clark Lee, he also coaches a black and gold team, so let's bring him up here.
Okay.
See, I'm thinking like only within the SEC.
So
I'm not
who
thinking
takes
of-
Vandy?
James Franklin.
Okay.
He goes back home.
So ultimately, it circles back to what?
It's a circle, yeah, circle of life.
And then Virginia Tech has to fall back to Shane Beamer.
Exactly.
South Carolina, who's taking that job? Golish?
Sure, we'll go with that.
They bring back Spurrier.
This is fun. Can
I
we just
know,
do
this is
4
fun.
hours of
Can we do
this?
a weekly segment?
Sure. Why not?
This is fun.
Dominoes, but we don't just do it with college football coaches. We can do it with all aspects of life.
I like it.
All right. Next question. Rocket Mortgage conducted a survey of possible homeowners asking them the following question. Would you ever purchase a home that was considered haunted? 65% of Americans say they would consider it, with 39% saying absolutely I would consider it. So if your perfect home and the lot was available at a significant reduced cost because the home was supposedly haunted, would you consider buying it?
Buy it, but not to live in. I'll flip it. But yeah, I wouldn't live in it. No, these people are crazy. I watch one of those shows. It was, oh goodness, she was from Parks and Rec.
The blonde girl?
It's the scariest. No, it's the scariest house in America.
Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She hosts that show, and some of these people that have turned like old funeral homes.
Mortuaries?
Yeah, their
Yeah.
backyard is an actual graveyard. Nah.
I
Like
don't
go
wanna
down in the
mess.
basement and there's still embalming equipment down there.
Yeah.
No. No.
I don't want to mess with that. Mm-mm.
Oh, they're friendly spirits. That's fine. You take your spirits. y'all
A
have your
significant
fun.
discount, Conrad.
No, see, that's why, and before you said that, that was the first place my head went is, so it's my ideal house, and I'm going to get it at a discount because of, absolutely. I'm not scared.
Okay,
I'd be too scared.
I
I'm
don't
not
know
scared
how
of
Paige is with bugs. I don't
Hates
know how
them.
Leanne is with bugs.
Hates them.
But you notice the reaction. I'm not going to call it an overreaction because they think it's important. But if for some reason they think they saw something or heard something, can you imagine if they knowingly live in a home that is haunted?
It's your dream home, a significant discount. Conrad's taking advantage of it.
Yeah, see, I don't believe in, I don't know.
Now, if this
I
is
don't
like
think
a
ghost
nice
like that.
ghost, like Casper, then okay.
Yeah,
If
roll
you
the
gut,
dice.
if you gut the inside, does that get rid of the spirits?
I don't know
Probably.
how
No,
that
it actually
works.
makes them angry.
I'm about to say makes him mad.
You change the foyer.
So Conrad's all in.
Yeah, make your life more interesting too.
Why did you replace the parquet floor? I don't know. Speaking of that, Jim Moore Jr. I think he lives. Remember they did the College Game Day special a few years ago when he took the UConn job. He took that farmhouse that's haunted, and he has relationships with the spirits. Like Jimmy, Dan, how you doing, guys?
Now, I will say there are extreme measures where I would maybe second guess myself, right? Like, 10 people were axe murdered in this house. Okay, well, I probably don't want that house. But, if it's just some old folk tale, I'm not worried about that.
Well, and this is what Jim Morris said from an interview with Pete Thamel. It's a 6-minute walk from the store's campus, sits on top of a hill, but it's known to be haunted. And he said, I'm convinced it's haunted. And he said Morris says he hears doors opening every night with other unexplained noises and sees shadows around the house. I just warned everyone who stays that it's haunted. But they're good ghosts.
Yeah, see, you're
no
fine.
Thanks.
All right, that's today's Pat Ponders, brought to you by Courtesy GMC in Trussville. Goodbye and see them off of I-459 exit 32 there in Trussville.
You got time for it?
No.
No, you don't?
We'll have to save it for tomorrow.
We'll put it on the shelf for tomorrow.
Yeah. It'll still be bad tomorrow.
Good stuff today. We appreciate all of your interaction. And someone texting into the show on the Jocks text line saying, I'm literally playing dominoes on my phone right now. One of my favorite games. I just learned how to play. I'd never tried to play. It's not like it took me years to learn how to play. But
my family and I used to play every year at Thanksgiving. That'd be one of the things. Dominoes is fun.
Someone asking, do you think Coach Wimp Sanderson gives out candy or does he leave his front porch lights off? He gives out candy, but he gives out individual grapes.
Not the the mini box of raisins.
When I was your age, we were lucky to get it. No, did I ever tell you when his grandkids would come over to his house, and this was back when we were doing the show, he would get so annoyed because they like Sunkist to drink, and they would drink half the can. So what he started doing, he would not let them open a new can, and he would just start combining all of the grandkids' cans and make them drink it.
That's funny.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
No, not one bit. Appreciate all of our guests today. Brian Edwards, our Vegas insider, Chris Stewart, the voice of the Crimson Tide, presented by Craneworks, Nick Roush, and Trey Wallace. That was a fun visit.
That was fun. Go back and listen to the Three Man Front podcast.
Got Rodney Orr tomorrow, Rob Pate tomorrow, the Southern Gentleman, Brett Norsworthy as well. From all of us to all of you, remember, God is great. Have a wonderful rest of your week.